Hello, I'm Brady from the thing you're currently watching, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up payment recovery with Churnkey, the closest thing you're ever going to get to money for nothing. So instead of going to payment recovery to set this up, that would be very smart of you, but not quite yet. Come over here to settings. We're just going to make sure that your billing provider is first set up. So I want you to make sure that this says active. If this doesn't say active, then you can just follow the instructions on the page. It's just going to take you a few minutes. And then come over here to email, and you're just going to verify your domain. So put in your domain name here, hit begin domain verification. This is going to take your website administrator maybe 5 minutes to set up. I've done this several times. It's really pretty quick. So there's a pretty minimal lift right here, but there is a slight one. And then the same for domain. So what we recommend doing to recover payments is using a custom subdomain. We really like this billing.yourdomain.com. That's just so when someone clicks a link in an email or text message, or we're trying to recover their payment, they go to that URL, they say, okay, do I know who this person is? Is this really the person who I'm trying to pay, or is it just some sort of scam? So what I really like is to have this billing.yourdomain.com. It just looks really professional, looks really good for customers. This is what we've seen work across all of our different clients. So this is really what I recommend here. And then hit begin subdomain verification. Again, this is a small lift, just going to take about 5 minutes from your website administrator. And then once it says verified, we are now good to go. We are now cooking with oil, as they say in somewhere, maybe. So you can come over here to payment recovery, and now we are ready to get started. A quick story time about payment recovery. So when I was a customer of Churnkey, before I worked with Churnkey, I made the switch when the founder said that if I worked with them, they would send me pictures of their feet. I remember that I took about an hour to set this up because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have this video right here, you lucky dog. And I remember that this recovery progress was just so cool because we took like an hour to set this up, all of our different campaigns, all of our settings, all of our tech lift, everything. And every month, this recovery progress just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I remember thinking like, gosh, what has our return on time investment been for this? And it was by far the highest return on time investment that we had across the entire business. It was literally like hundreds of thousands of dollars per hour invested in this, and it just kept getting recovered. There was no additional work required from me when I was a customer using this product. So it's just really cool. I'm super excited for you to get in and start using this. So this is your analytics page, probably going to be empty if you're watching this video. So come over here to campaigns, and these are your campaigns. What? Who suspected that? I bet you did because you are a smart cookie. So to add these, let's just start with add campaign. There's a few ways I like to do this. I like to have one sort of catch-all campaign. And then one thing that's super cool is you can segment customers in these. So if you have, say, your monthly subscribers and your annual subscribers, and you want to try different things to recover those payments, you want to communicate with those customers differently, or maybe if they're on like a small plan versus an enterprise plan, you have different communications for those customers. You can set up all of that in Churnkey, which is something that I really loved because I remember we could not do this in Stripe. So for this one, I'm just going to set up sort of our catch-all campaign. I'm just going to call it catch-all because I'm not that creative, also not that funny. Maybe that's why I've been single for so long. So here you can add some filters if you want. Because this is our catch-all campaign, I'm going to remove all the filters. So this is going to be everyone who's not in another campaign. And Churnkey is smart enough to set that up on its own. You don't have to put that in any settings. Churnkey just does it. It just works. So come over here to recovery campaign. You're not going to have to change much in these emails because we've really got them nailed down and dialed in a way where it just works across so many different industries, so many different campaigns. But one of the things that I do recommend you change for sure is the sender name. So you can see how all of these have the same sender name. Don't know who that Brady guy is, but he sounds like he's a catch if you know any single ladies who love to be disappointed. And what happens when you have all the same sender names is, especially if someone's using something like Gmail, those emails just sort of stack up and they get threaded into one another, and then it just looks like one big email thread. And I think this just desensitizes your users. So I really recommend changing these sender names here. So make these other people who are perhaps somewhat famous in your company. In this case, it might be Nick, it might be Baird, two of the co-founders of Churnkey. So I just recommend changing these sender names. Every single email then gets put in a different thread, and it's just really good. You can change these up, just sort of other public figures in your company. You don't really have to change much else here. The only thing you might want to change here is this text message. So this is really cool. People open text messages way more often than they open emails. So I do like having that text message there. And I just recommend activating that for all of your emails if you can. And then when you're done with those minor changes, you just hit activate segment. It's going to take you back to this list of campaigns. Our new catch-all campaign is down here at the bottom. You can see I've recorded this video a couple of times because I'm an idiot. And then the only other things you might want to do is come over here to settings and just double check the precision retries are on. I remember when I was using Churnkey as a client, we were using Stripe's smart retries and they were recovering a pretty disappointing amount. And then we turned on Churnkey's precision retries and they literally started recovering 10 times more. Now, I think that's a very atypical result. I think most people are seeing 20 to 30% increases in what Stripe's recovering, but this was a game changer for me. I recommend you absolutely have it turned on. It probably is going to be turned on, but just come over here and make double sure. And then you're going to start seeing your analytics get filled here. If you have any questions about your analytics, about your campaigns, about how you can get more money for nothing, don't know about the chicks for free part, can't help you there, then you can just contact us. We're going to have a chat button on the bottom right here, right behind this skull. And we're always super happy to talk with you and help you lower your churn.